Friday, everyone. Haven't seen you since last month, but time marches on. Oh well. Alrighty, well, our first shout out, our only shout out for today is one. I've shouted out Florentin Tise before, but he has managed to get his old channel back. So he now has two channels. One is Florentin Tise, it's T-I-S-E, and the other one is Florentin Tise Plus. Now the one with Plus is actually his old channel, and he says what he's going to do is on his old channel he's going to put up longer videos that will be music theory and tutorials and music history. And on the new channel, which some of you have subscribed to already, he will put up shorter videos of him playing and things like that. So you might see him playing a, I don't know, something from Bach, let's say, on Florentin Tise. But on Florentin Tise Plus, he will maybe give some of the history behind it and some of the theory and a tutorial on how to play it. So both channels sound like they're going to be good. I really like Florentin. I like his style. He's a music instructor at a school, and I kind of envy the children that have him as a teacher, because I'm sure he is a very patient, kind, and gentle instructor, and the kids probably just love learning from him. But to go ahead and check out those two, actually two channels, I guess, Florentin Tise, Florentin, I should say, it's not, there's no E on the end, and Florentin Tise Plus. And if I can figure out how to do it, because I'm having to load my videos up to YouTube differently than I used to, I'll try and put links in the description box. So be sure to check, see if the links are there, and if not, just go to your YouTube page, hit the little magnifying glass, and search Florentin. Up here, you'll see the bubble with the names. But you can search for Florentin Tise and Florentin Tise Plus. Alrighty, it's story time. Well, remember, a couple weeks ago we were in the Old West and we did Sunday in the Saloon. Well, we're heading back to the Old West for a couple of short stories. And the first one is called The Peacock's Revenge. So let's have a listen to that. Bradshaw and McIntyre were business partners. Bradshaw went shopping and bought a gorgeous shirt with black, green, and red stripes. When he appeared on Ellen Street in Tombstone, Arizona, in this pretentious garment, he created a tremendous sensation. But having acquired his ideas of smartness in attire out in the sagebrush, he took his shirt seriously and thought himself at last the last word in satirical elegance. As he strolled along, as proud as a peacock, all who met him burst out laughing. He was unable to figure out the joke until boisterous citizens began to shout at him with uproarious guffaws, "Where did you get that shirt?" Bradshaw was vexed by such ribaldry, but his show of displeasure only incited his tormentors to new derision. He flew into a furious anger, and at last declared flatly to no one in particular, "I will kill the next man who makes fun of my shirt." The next man, unfortunately, was his partner, McIntyre. The shirt struck McIntyre as excruciatingly ridiculous. He laughed so immoderately that for a time he could not speak. He bent double in unholy glee, twisting, squirming, all the while pointing a finger at Bradshaw. Finally, between giggling outbursts, he managed to spit out the fateful words, "Where did you get that shirt?" Whereupon Bradshaw, beside himself with rage, drew a six-shooter and killed him. The bullet entered McIntyre's mouth, which was wide open with merriment. Tombstone took the murder lightly, holding McIntyre fortunate in that death came to him as sort of a joke, that he went down into the other world holding his sides with laughter. There you go, Revenge of the Peacock. Alrighty. Well, lesson to you, if you see somebody with ridiculous clothes, don't laugh at them. Kind of like the creepy clown syndrome. You don't even laugh, cry, or run away in terror. Alright, our second story is called Teething Toy. And this one takes place in Dodge City. Even babies in Dodge City found a use for guns. One night, a mother, alone in the house with her child, heard someone coming up the path. She looked out and saw a dirty, drunken tramp approaching. Her husband's six-shooter hung on a nail by its trigger guard. She snatched the gun down. It was not loaded. Still, she meant to protect her baby with it. Though her hand shook so that she could hardly hold the pistol level, she took her stand by the baby's crib. Then she remembered her husband's warning. Never pull a gun unless you aim to use it. If she tried to bluff that ugly tramp and failed, she dared not think of what might happen. She decided to feed her unwelcome visitor and try to placate him. Hastily, she dropped the gun into her baby's crib. But then she seemed unable to say a word and just stood there shaking. The tramp took one look, instantly came through the open door into the house, and prepared to make himself at home. He staggered towards her. She stepped behind the crib. He looked down at the baby. Suddenly, he turned pale, whirled around, and ran out the door. She wondered what on earth could have frightened him off. Then she saw. The little boy was teething on the revolver. The tramp was still running, heading for the lone prairie as fast as he could go. He wanted nothing to do with a town where even the babies were gunslingers. So I hope you've enjoyed those two little stories for today. And you can kind of picture it all in your mind taking place, can't you? And see that guy is probably still running still if he hasn't reached the Pacific Ocean yet, or the Atlantic, whichever direction he took off in. But here's some fun stories from the Old West. Alrighty, it's time for the groaner. Well, there was a farmer and his wife who went to a fair. This is a few years back. You can kind of tell by the prices involved. But this farmer had always been fascinated by airplanes and had never ridden in one. But as they walked around the fair out on the edge, they discovered a pilot with a biplane. And he had a sign there that said, airplane rides, $5 a person. And there was room for 2 passengers, and the farmer said to his wife, let's go up in the plane. And she looked and she said, that's $10. That's a lot of money. And he says, well, yeah, but how often do you get to ride in a plane? And his wife says, $10 is $10. And he says, yeah, but, I've always wanted to do this. And she goes, no, $10 is $10. Well, the pilot overheard this conversation, and so he approached the couple and said, I'll tell you what, things are a little slow at the moment. I'll take you up, and here's the deal. If you can go through the whole plane ride without making a sound, the ride's on me. But if you make any noise at all, any squeals, any yelling, anything, you have to pay the $10. And the farmer looks at his wife and says, well, gee, what a good deal that is. Come on, we can do this. We can be quiet. And his wife says, I don't know, $10 is $10. And the farmer says, oh, come on, sweetie, come on, we can do it. So finally she relents, and they climb in the plane, and off they go into the wild blue yonder. Well, this pilot's darned if he's going to give him a free ride, so he does a loop-the-loop, not a sound. He does a barrel roll, not a peep. He does a nosedive towards the ground and pulls out at the last minute. Nothing. He flies upside down. Nothing. He tries every trick he can think of, and not a sound is heard from the back. Well, he finally lands the plane, and as he's taxiing up to the spot where he parks, he says over his shoulder to the farmer, I'm amazed. I've never had passengers that could be that quiet. I guess you got a free ride. And the farmer says, yeah, it was darn hard, and I almost screamed when my wife fell out. And the pilot turns around and looks. He says, your wife fell out. Why didn't you say something? And the old farmer goes, well, $10 is $10. Well, there you go. So hang on to your $10, even if you're flying around in a plane, but hang on to your wife tighter. Hope you've enjoyed today's video, and you'll join me next Tuesday for some fun in the kitchen. Have a great weekend. Take care. Stay safe.